The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Every man has his techniques, and they're all different.
They said you're not normal, why don't you sing R&B? I said I got no rhythm and I got no blues, I'm as happy as can be. They said how can you not bop to hip-hop? I said I most certainly do. Did you not see me dancing the other night like the girls on Channel U? Yeah, I can wind down low, be like the girls in the video, but for me that's much too slow because I prefer rock and roll. I say yeah, I can wind down low, dance like the girls in the video, but for me that's a no-no because I prefer rock and roll, They say why'd you wear a shirt and tie? Now that's a bit bizarre. I said I like to look good when I go on stage, strumming my guitar. I like to sing my songs about real life things like good times and romance, and I prefer to do it in my skinny jeans and minuscule hot pants.
Every man has his techniques,
Cause this baby got no back.
and they're all different.
Yeah, I can wind down low, be like the girls in the videos, but for me that's much too slow because I prefer rock and roll. I say yeah, I can wind down low, dance like the girls in the videos, but for me that's a no-no because I prefer rock and roll, rock and roll, Why can't people just let me be? I'm only putting out what comes best to me. Some people get their kicks with other things, but I get mine with wood and string. Yeah, I can wind down low, be like the girls in the videos, but for me that's much too slow because I prefer rock and roll. I say yeah, I can wind down low, dance like the girls in the videos, but for me that's a no-no because I prefer rock and roll. Yeah, I can wind down low, be like the girls in the videos, but for me that's much too slow because I prefer rock and roll. I say yeah, I can wind down low, dance like the girls in the videos, but for me that's a no-no because I prefer rock and roll, rock and roll.
They cancelled Brexit.
03444991000. There's a surprise. Alan Caddick is the first up. Good evening, Alan.
Hi, Bob.
Good evening, Alan Caddick. What have you got to bring to the party? It's war! People versus Parliament! It's war!
It's like 1642 all over
It's
again.
exactly like 1642, exactly. I get the reference. Some of my listeners won't, Alan. They're thick. Why don't you explain it to them?
Because 1642, King Charles I tried to arrest 5 members of Parliament. Parliament disagreed, and we went to a civil war.
Civil war. Let's just say we don't want it to be in any way violent or bloody, but it's civil war without any violence.
This is worse than the American Revolution of 1776.
In many ways, it is. What? Did you swallow a history book or something?
No.
You've been knocking one out to the rude words in the encyclopedia?
No.
Okay, well, you seem to know quite a lot of stuff.
Because I'm big on history in school.
You've been on history in school?
No, history was my favourite subject at school.
Was it really?
Yes, it was.
Okay, what's your favourite period of history?
It has to be the Middle Ages.
Oh, dirty, filthy, stinky, full of
And the Battle
disease.
of Hastings.
Yes, yeah. Oh, which year was that?
1066.
There we go.
Got one in the eye.
You got one in the eye. These are exciting. Did you listen to? Excuse me, a bit windy, Pops. Did you listen to Brexit tonight?
I followed it on BBC Parliament.
I was listening to it. It was quite exciting. They should make this a daily thing, because I was quite excited. I was listening from just after 7, so I missed there were 3 votes, I think, tonight. I'm going to be honest, just like the X Factor, I didn't understand any of it. I didn't know who was voting for what and what. I didn't know who the good guys were and who the bad guys were, and I didn't know who the yays and the... I didn't know any of that, but I found it very, very exciting. I found it significantly more interesting than that dull Ricky Gervais thing.
I found it more interesting than that red-nosed climb to Kilimanjaro.
The red-nosed Kilimanjaro. When is Comic Relief? So I can remember Friday. Okay, so time to avoid the television.
The Gold Cup at Cheltenham.
Oh, is it? Wow! What a busy day full of boring things.
Well, I want to watch ITV for the racing.
Probably the best way to do it, Alan.
Well, I wouldn't be watching.
Okay. Well, it feels like we've run to the end of this conversation.
Thank you.
There we go. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. I quite enjoy. Honestly, I was listening on the way in. I was flicking back and forth. So I was listening, bit of talk, bit of Radio 4, bit of some of the other stuff. It was going around because it's all different coverage. It's all different coverage, and I enjoyed it. I found it quite interesting. Not a clue what was going on. Not a clue who was in the right and who was... Honestly, I couldn't follow any of it. But it was very, very exciting. I think that Parliament should do a big vote about 7 o'clock every evening. I'd listen. I'd tune in for that. Should we have chicken McNuggets or Big Macs with bacon? The ayes have it, it's Big Macs with bacon. All of that, I love it. I'd love it. It's a bit like, it is a bit like X Factor, or no, it's a bit sterner than the X Factor. So it's more like The Apprentice. I think Danny Baker might have said that on Twitter earlier. It's a bit like The Apprentice. I like that kind of vibe to it. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Let's go to Andrew. Good evening, Andrew.
Hi there.
Hi there, Andrew.
I'm a big fan of the show. I'm a
Prove it.
Small-time listener.
Prove it. Give me. Here's the thing, Andrew. And I don't want to put you on the spot on our first chat, but I have to, I'm afraid, because of recent events. I have to. You say you're a big fan of the show. A lot of people phone up, say they're a big fan. We had these people phoning up yesterday to talk about some charity event. I mean, for goodness sakes, they said they listened to the show, but they would know that that's not the kind of stuff we do. So, Andrew, I need you to prove you're a big fan of the show. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. If you answer the 3 questions, then you're a big fan of the show. If you don't answer the 3 questions, then we have to re-establish our relationship and find out exactly what you want, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Who's the boring old man that calls in who used to be good friends with Peter Cook?
I say I'm a new fan. Big fan, but new fan.
Thanks very much for your call, Andrew. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Come on, man. Come on. You don't know the basics? Why should I give up my time to people that don't even know the basics? Listen, here's the thing. I think we've had some quite dull callers recently, okay? And I think we've had some arsey callers as well recently. And you remember the 2 blind callers we had yesterday? Remember those? The 2 blind callers? Suspicious of blind callers now. So to give it the show a little boot up the backside, a B up the B. Katherine Boyle is... Here's question number 2, Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
Question number 2. You've got 1 wrong so far. Question number 2. What's the name of the caller that lives in Birmingham and knows the winner of not only every Grand National for the last 30 years, but also every Big Brother series?
Look, I've just beaten cancer.
Thanks very much for your call. It's just beaten cancer. Right, OK. Well, you may have beaten cancer, but you haven't beaten me. I'm tougher than the Big C. All right? So just... OK. Also, my bullshit detector boy is way better than anything you can throw at me. So just, 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. So because we've had some dull calls recently, and because we've just had some, some kind of like... we've had some really heavy stuff that I don't think has added anything to the show whatsoever. So Katherine is guarding the show this evening. So I can see the people that are calling up and she's turning away. Listen, she probably won't turn you away, dear listener. So do give us a call, 0344 499 1000. 0344 499 1000. We don't really talk about Brexit, but I enjoyed it so much this evening. So much this evening. Has it been like... It hasn't been like this for the last 2 years, has it? It can't have been like this for the last 2 years. Otherwise, I would have got sucked in. Honestly, not a clue what was going on. Not a clue. It's only the most important decision this country's taken in the last 50 years, Iain. I know, but I don't know what's happening. And also, it was like I went to a football match once. It was Luton versus Millwall, right? I don't like football. I didn't really know what was going on. I don't think either of those teams could be considered the good guys, right? But for the 2 hours I was there, I enjoyed the vibe. I enjoyed the energy, the frisson, the electricity that was running through the stadium, right? And then I left and I never went to another football. And it felt like that tonight with Brexit. It was, I didn't have a clue who the good guys or the bad guys were. I didn't know what the right answer was. I don't know. I didn't understand what any of the votes meant. Right, so we voted that we can't have a no-deal Brexit, but actually that's not compulsory because it's within law. We possibly could have a no-deal Brexit, and Boris Johnson was there, and he said we shouldn't be spaffing money away on investigating historical sex abuse cases. This is the man who spent about 40 million quid on a London bridge, on a garden bridge that doesn't exist. He said we were spaffing money away. That was his quote. Spaffing money up against the wall on historical sexual abuse, child abuse cases, and we shouldn't. And you think there's no VIP cover-up? Wait till we start talking about Lord David Steele. You think there's no VIP cover-up of sexual abuse? 0344 499 1000. Let's go to Not That Mo. Good evening, Not That Mo.
Hi, Ian. How you doing, my man?
I'm fired up. I'm pumped up because I'm aware of a VIP cover up like nobody's business.
I could hear when you took out the first caller.
Mate,
who said
I'm tempted to take out every caller. Here's an idea for a film.
I think you took him out straight.
Mate, I got an idea for a movie. Shut up. I got an idea for a movie, right? It's a phone-in show.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's a great idea for a movie, right? So it's a phone-in show, okay? And it's filmed in the studio, right? And every person that calls up, right, gets murdered. And they're all over the country. And they get... So the guy does... So I'll be talking to you and talking to Richard and Ollie and Martin. And then the next day I come in and my producer goes, you're never going to guess what happened. You know, all the callers we spoke to last night, they got murdered. I'm like, no. And it happens again. And then like by like the third or fourth night, you actually hear them getting murdered on the phone.
Yeah, but who's murdering them?
Well, this is... I don't want to spoil it, Mo.
This could be Oscar winning.
There could be something very... I think there's something in this, guys. The callers are getting murdered. We just don't know who
You're playing too much Fortnite.
I'm playing Apex Legends.
Oh, is it Apex Legends now?
Apex Legends.
I'm still on PUBG.
Oh, well, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. But PUBG's good, but Apex Legends is where it's at. But this is what I think we're going to do. You will hear people, and they will be getting murdered down the phone as the call is happening, and it will strike terror into the heart of the listeners, and it would be awful. Anyway, Not That Mo.
Involved in some way.
Not That Mo. What have you got for us?
Well, I was calling up. I need some advice.
Yeah, sure, man.
That's why I was calling up.
Well, you've come to the right place, buddy. What can we do for you?
Look, you know what? I've had enough of London. It's just too expensive to live, and I'm thinking I've got to an age now. I want to settle down, and I'm thinking,
settle down.
I'm a well-travelled man. I haven't been up north.
Okay, you've never...
So, like...
What? You've never been up north?
I've never been to, like... I've driven, like, to Manchester and gone down that way.
Mo? Mo! Mo! My God! The callers are being killed while I'm talking to them on the line! Holy shit. Mo! I would watch that film, Mo. I would watch that film.
What film?
The film where the film where you get murdered. Hang on a second. Stay there. Stay there. Okay, Andrew, your final question, okay? It's your third, and it is your final question. Who is the old man from Watford?
George.
Unlucky. Thanks so much, Andrew, but I'm afraid you're not a big fan of the show, new or otherwise. Go on, Mo. Right, go on. You've never been up north?
I've never been up north, right?
Yeah.
What? Like, I'm thinking, I'm going on a research trip next month to Liverpool.
Yeah, okay.
I've heard good things.
Great place.
Right, and I wanted to speak to Kath about it.
Unlucky. Unlucky. Speak to me. I've travelled.
I speak to you, man. I speak to you.
I've seen things.
You've seen things.
Oh, mate, I've seen things.
What's it like living up north? Have you lived up north?
I'm going to say yes, even though that's untrue.
Yeah.
And what do you mean? What's it like living up north? It's the same as living anywhere. It's just little.
Is it friendly?
Right up north, and this is a mass generalisation, right? But up north, yes, is generally friendlier. But here's the thing: there are still arseholes in Liverpool and Manchester and Newcastle.
Yeah.
So when you get mugged, they do it with a smile on their face and they doff their cap.
At least you won't get stabbed, isn't it?
Exactly. There's no stabbings up north, Mo. Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. This is the late night alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio.
The late night alternative with that man, Iain Lee. There's no strangers here, just friends you haven't stalked on Facebook yet.
Have never sent my picture to anyone who didn't request it.
The late night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Yes.
0344 499 1000. We've had a glut of vampires calling in recently and dull callers. So Katherine has bravely volunteered to screen the calls and only put through good people. Not necessarily good people, just like people that will kind of give something to the show instead of just taking. There's a lot of taking from the show. Kind of give something to the show, guys. It's not quite as vicious as it sounds. 0344 499 1000. You speak to Kath, she'll take your name and number and give you a call back. Lots to talk about. We're going to talk about David Steele, who people who think there's no VIP paedophile cover-up, guys. It's happening and it's being exposed slowly. But it's happening. So disappointed in David Steele. I used to like him. I don't know why. I think it's partly because he was so diddy. I don't know. And he would talk like that, didn't he? A bit northern, but no, talk like that. Is that kind of voice. And I always used to like David Steele, and it turns out he's a protector of child rapists. He really is. There's no joke there. He actually is. We'll talk about that. We have another meditation by a 7-year-old to play you. And lots and lots of stuff. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Martin.
Good evening, Iain and Kathy.
You've spoken to her already. Your time with her is done. You're just through to me. You're in the lion's den, the shark tank, if you will. What can you do for us tonight?
I want to give an impersonation of John Bercow, the Speaker of the House of Lords.
Impersonations of John Bercow, always welcome here. Go on, then.
Okay. Order! 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 The eyes to the left, 249. The nose to the right, 146. The eyes to the right of 1. Will the gentleman who calls himself a barrister on the front benches show some muddy Clem? Do you realize your people are caught by shouting and screaming? Order! Order! Unlock! Ian.
There we go. Thank you very much indeed. I don't remember John Bercow coming from Birmingham, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Richard.
Evening.
Good evening, Richard. What can we do for you this evening?
Who sang The Invisible Man? Do you know who sang that song?
So could you
I'm
take
the Invisible Man.
whatever you've got in your mouth that isn't either your tongue or your teeth, could you take it out and let's try again?
Who sang The Invisible Man?
Who sang Who Little Man?
No, The Invisible Man. Well, is he on?
Can you sing it to me? Hello?
I'm the Invisible Man.
Yeah, can you sing it to me?
I'm the Invisible Man. I'm the Invisible Man. That's how it goes.
Yeah, no song goes like that. Try and sing it.
Well, that's how it goes. Just I'm the Invisible Man.
I'm the Invisible Man.
I'm the Invisible Man.
That's singing, is it?
Yeah.
Why are you asking me?
Because it's just this song what I like.
I'll tell you exactly how it goes. It goes like this. I'm the Invisible Man.
That's it.
I'm the Invisible Man.
I can't sing it all.
I'm the Invisible Man. Ow. It was Michael Jackson.
Was it?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep, 100%.
I don't think it was. It sounded like an English person.
Sounded like a what? An English person?
English person.
Well, here's the thing. It wasn't an English person that sang it.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure it was Michael Jackson.
What about Black Grape? Stupid, stupid, stupid. The first one there.
Well, Black Grape sang that, I think. Well, I don't know what you're asking me.
No, the first song on the Stupid, Stupid, Stupid album.
Well, here's the thing. I've never listened to a Black Grape album. Life's too short. It's too short for Black Grape. It's too short for that new Ricky Gervais rubbish. It's too short for a lot of things.
The first song is brilliant on Stupid, Stupid, Stupid.
Okay.
It's well funny.
Okay. Why are you not discussing this with, I don't know, your friends?
Because I ain't got no money, I'm skint.
Hey, listen, if your friends will be round with you if you're skint. That's when your real friends come out to play.
Yeah.
All right, Richard, well, I hope we answered your question.
Play that tune, though. That Stupid, 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 the first one.
I'm not, no, never. Not a chance. Never in my life. Never going to happen. Good evening, Ollie.
Oh, thank God that you didn't do the Black Grape song.
Black Grape's a terrible band. Black Grape is a crap Happy Mondays, and they were lousy as well. Next.
Yeah, well, quite. Sorry, a couple of other things.
One of the rudest people I've ever met in my life. No, the rudest person I've ever met in my life, Bez.
Me?
Bez.
Oh, Bez, really?
Bez, yeah. So rude to me. So mean, so nasty to me, Bez.
He's not exactly sitting on a talent, is he? Well, you know...
He's not sitting on manners or an understanding of how live television works.
No, well, was that on Big Breakfast?
No.
Oh, what was it on?
It was on a thing called Liquid News.
Oh, on BBC Three.
Yeah, well, it was BBC Choice when I did it, but yes. And then I had to cut him short. He was doing some rambling nonsense about the Falklands, and in my ear they're going, right, we need to move on. So I moved him on, and then I met him about a year later. He may have been high on drugs. I wasn't. I was sober at the time. And he laid into me, and he started jabbing me with his finger and saying, you're that C that cut me off, and you need to learn some manners, and you need to pay attention, and shut up, Bez, you're banging on about the Falklands.
I was going to say, well, for one thing, I suspect he is not a military strategist.
I suspect he's not. Maybe, but that was a long time ago. I'm sure he's a delightful human being now, and I would love, Bez, if you're listening, I'd love to share a Subway with you.
Oh, that's nice.
Do you know what? I fancy a Subway. Here's the thing, Ollie. Quite often I go out for lunch or supper with my good friend Katherine Boyle, who's answering the phone calls tonight, right?
Yeah, I spoke to her early.
Yeah, that's it.
Lovely woman.
Yeah, isn't it? Right. But sometimes I fancy a Subway, because I really like a Subway. Who doesn't like a Subway?
I like a Subway. I don't eat meat.
She don't like a Subway. So we can't go out for a Subway because she don't like Subway. I really fancy a Subway.
I used to like her as well.
Yeah, you can go off people very,
definitely, yeah.
very
didn't know she was a weirdo.
Yep. Anyway, Ollie, what would you like to say? What have you got for us, Ols?
Well, I can tell you, first of all, that I was out tonight seeing two of my sons playing at a music concert in school.
Oh, really? Your son's not in the band Keen, are they?
No. Why's that?
Hmm?
No, they're better.
Good.
I'm joking.
No, you're not, because Keen are lousy. How old are your sons, and what were they playing?
One is Ollie, who's my actual name isn't Ollie; it's after him.
What? Hang on a minute. You're pretending.
My name's Ollie.
You're pretending to be your son?
No. what I'm doing is that I've just chosen a name randomly.
Well, not that randomly. So randomly, by coincidence, you've chosen your son's name.
Well, yeah, but fortunately, I mean, no surnames are being brought up, so I can get away with it.
Okay, all right then. Okay, so yes,
Ollie, the real one.
Yes,
he was singing in the choir, and my other son was singing in the choir and playing in the orchestra, and he also played the ukulele as well.
Oh, there you go. Well, isn't that? How old are they, please?
Eldest son, Max, he's 14.
Yep.
And Ollie is 12.
Beautiful.
And I have a daughter who is 8.
Beautiful.
There too. Thank you.
I got to see my 7-year-old in a swimming gala today.
Oh, fantastic.
It was great, and he was very nervous, and he did brilliantly. Absolutely brilliantly. Couldn't have been prouder.
Oh,
Here's the thing, right? So they were in teams. It's like the green turtles, the red lobsters, and all this, right? And there were loads of parents there, and we were supposed to cheer and stuff. None of the other parents were cheering. I'm going, come on, green turtles! Come on, turtle! And all the parents like look at me and say, what, this is it? I'm having a good time. That's what I'm doing. I'm having a good time.
Well, why wouldn't you cheer at a sporting event? That's the whole point. It's part of snooker, of course.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
Oh, there we go. There we go. No, thank you, Ollie. There's tonight's phone-in. Sporting events you can't cheer at. There we go. 03444991000 is the phone number. Snooker. There we go.
Got me thinking. Listen, I have to. Please, can I ask you one question?
Yes, mate. Get to it. I'm waiting for you to get to it. You're just dragging this call out.
Oh, sorry. You and Kath, I thought it was Kath who originally had chosen it, but you and Kath played something on your show probably about 3 months ago now, and it was hilarious. It was Julie Andrews' song. I think it was, and it was with...
it was bleeped out, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I was very almost wet. Listen, you know I've got MS. You know my memory is shite, yeah?
Oh, well, my memory's terrible because I've forgotten, but now I know who you are. Yes.
So, no, that's okay. So that is quite an achievement to me to have remembered the song from about 3 months ago that I was wanting to ask you about in the first place. But can you please tell me what it was? I know what the song was, but where did you get it?
I got it because I couldn't find it now if I tried. It was from... I heard it on BBC Radio 4 Extra. It was an old comedy show from the 70s called... Not I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. It's I'm Sorry I'll Read That Again.
Yes, it had some of the Pythons in it,
It had some of the Pythons in it. It was one of those episodes, but I couldn't tell you which one, so you'll have to go through the entire back catalogue, but that's not a chore because those shows are good.
No, precisely. I mean, that was... seriously, I was... Well, again, walking is a bit of an issue too, but I was crawling on the floor because I was crying so hard my stomach hurts. Do you know that kind of real feeling laugh?
Isn't that funny? Because I was thinking about... I think I'm psychic, right? Because I was thinking about that 2 days ago. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was thinking about it yesterday, thinking, I should try and find that and play that again because that really made me laugh.
Definitely.
And then a friend, let's just say a friend of mine, told me that they'd been approached by their boss to do a slightly different job. And I was thinking, well, that was weird because the night before I was imagining them doing the job that they've been asked to do.
No.
Yes, mate. I've got the gift.
What was it?
It was a reporting job, and they've been asked to do a little bit of political reporting. And the day before, I was thinking, I wonder how such and such would get on doing political reporting. I bet they'd be quite good at it. Then they get
You're
asked.
not allowed to say who they are.
I am not allowed for legal and political reasons to say who they are. But they got asked to do it, and literally 12 hours before, 15 hours before, I'd been wondering how they'd cope with doing the job and thinking they'd be pretty good at the job. Isn't that funny?
That is mad, isn't it? I don't. Something you were saying about people doing jobs earlier, or one of your callers was saying about John Bercow, and I thought his impression wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, it's just got order. The right honourable gentleman needs to learn some manners. Order. I mean, anyone can do that. Who was the lady that used to do it?
Oh, Betty Boothroyd.
Betty Boothroyd. Is she still with her? I think she's passed away because I want her back. She was the best. She was the best at shouting at politicians I've ever heard. I liked her. I like Betty Boothroyd.
Well,
she's alive. She's alive!
Oh, God,
sorry, Betty. We finished Betty off quicker than she needed. Let's get Betty Boothroyd back in, steady.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Let's get Betty Boothroyd back in. John in Highbury, put the phone down. It's not going to be answered, certainly as long as Kath is answering the phone. Put the phone down. You're a muppet.
Me?
No, shut up. Betty Boothroyd is the best at shouting at politicians.
Does she? I've not seen her recently. Well, not really.
Katherine is telling me. Katherine says I called her once. She pretended to be her own secretary. There's the next phone in. Have you ever pretended to be someone else when you've answered the phone? 0344 499 1000. I got a question for you, Ollie. So I moved into my new house. September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm asking is because I got a letter last week addressed to me, and it said, I'm trying to track the woman who used to live in this house. I used to be a good friend of hers, and I'd like to get in touch with her. So I just phoned the guy up and said, here's her address. And then I'm thinking, what if...
Oh, no.
Exactly. Right, so what if...
They didn't want her to know, presumably.
I don't know. Maybe, I just hope she doesn't die. Anyway, right, so I've been there for 7 months, OK? And I still get letters addressed to her, right? And we've had a Christmas. Of course, we're going to get Christmas cards, and I forward them on. Don't forward them on immediately. I wait till I get a nice pile, then I'll forward them on, right? How long...
You check for notes, right?
No. How long after moving into a new house do you have to keep forwarding the mail? I've been there 7 months.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 8 months and then I'm done.
Yeah, that's fair enough. In fact, what you could do, you could write it on the back of the things that you're forwarding, so you don't have to pay for the stamp.
Well, you don't have to buy a stamp anyway when you forward a letter.
Oh, I thought. Sorry, I didn't know if you were being really courteous. When you said send them on, I was like,
no, oh God, no. You just write on the front. No, you just write on forward to, and then you put your new address, and it gets sent on. I know how the post works, Ollie.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. Lot came from that phone call. OK, so sports that you can't cheer at. 0344 499 1000. Is there anybody better at shouting at politicians than Betty Boothroyd? And how long after moving into a new house do you have to keep forwarding the email? I think you have to go through one Christmas. You certainly have to go through one Christmas because you're going to get a lot of cards. But, I mean, I'm getting bills, I'm getting personal letters, I got a book delivered the other day for the woman who lived in the house 7 months ago. In my head, I want to say 8 months, and then I can kind of... Well, what do you do with it? Return to sender? Chuck it in the bin? Either way, it's work for me. 0344 499 1000. This is the late night alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The late night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You'd be very, very welcome to. Kath is screening the calls tonight, and it's going very, very well. Let's go to Margaret. Good evening, Margaret.
Oh, hello, Ian. Two things, really.
Yes.
The thing is, you know the address of that woman that you keep posting?
Yes.
Why don't you write to her?
Oh.
And say, get on to the post office and redirect the letters.
Well, she did redirect. She redirected certainly for 3 months and maybe even for 6 months. But we're now into... No, it must have been for 3 months, actually, because I got some over Christmas. But now we're into month 7, and I'm still getting loads of stuff for her.
Weird.
She's a lovely lady,
Right. Yeah. And the second thing is...
Yes. That's sorted.
This is really out of order, actually. You've got kiddies, OK?
Do what, sorry? I've got kiddies, yes.
Yeah, I've got kiddies too. Well, they're 50s now.
Oh, blimey.
But anyway.
Old kiddies.
But when one of my sons was 2,
yes,
I brought my daughter home, newborn baby, and I was changing her on the couch. And my little son of 2...
On the couch? Wow, that's a risk. That's a gamble.
Dangerous. Anyway, so she was naked, and he looked under her... behind her ears,
yes,
under her arms,
yes,
under her feet, and then he said, "No, Willie, why?"
No, Willie, why? Yes.
So
that was my nickname at school. No, Willie, why?
I said, "Well, she's got a hole instead."
Oh.
And he said, "Why?"
Oh God.
And
I'm scared.
at the age of 2, because he kept saying why, and you tell the children the truth.
Yes.
He knew the facts of life.
Wow! And at the age of 3, he was a proud dad.
But I tell you what, he forgot.
Oh, did it?
No, but never mind.
Does he remembered since?
Well, I hope he's got his children of his own.
He's worked something out then. They've come up with some kind of plan. Yeah, well, no, Willie, why? That's it is always amazing when little boys realise that girls don't have willies.
Absolutely, but then they want to know why, and so you have to say they've got a hole, and a hole instead.
A hole.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. All right, Margaret. Thank you very much for that. A hole. Well, all right. Well, what would you call it? A crack? I don't mean it in the vulgar sense. I mean, what would you call? I don't know what you would call it. A hole, though. I don't know about a hole. Let's go 03444991000. Let's go to Glasgow, where Katherine and I will be performing in June, and maybe we'll see you there, Berger.
Hello.
Hello there, Berger.
What I just say is, do you think MPs have preceded the will of the British folk by possibly taking no deal off the table for Brexit and possibly extending Article 50?
I don't know.
Because you look,
I don't care.
I was saying this morning. One of it on another radio station. That we look at accidents and incidents don't just happen like that.
Accidents and incidents, isn't that a Paul Simon song?
Well,
accidents and incidents. There was chance of allegation. If you be my bodyguard, I can be your long. It's called Call Me Al, isn't it?
Aye, but I mean, see, look what happened over the last number of years. Well, first of all, Cameron called a referendum. He, I can't believe.
Why do you care about this? Why are you so upset? Chill out.
Because I'm just so fed up with the Brexit thing. It's
boring.
2.5
Well,
years.
yeah, it's boring, isn't it?
To be honest, get over and done with, and that'll be it. That's what I say.
It's boring, right? And are you bored of hearing about Brexit on the radio?
I'm bored that we don't know what's happening. It's coming like we are leaving the EU in 2 weeks' time, and we don't know what the deal's going to be.
Okay,
I think that's pathetic.
But here's the thing, right? Can you, Berger, do anything about it?
No, but I'd love to.
What would you love to do? What would you do, Berger? You're in charge of it. What are you going to do?
I would absolutely love to go down there and sack all the MPs. Which don't basically.
And how would that sort things out? You sacking all of the MPs?
What you do is you sack the MPs that especially ones that leave areas that didn't seem to want to delay it or want to make another referendum, and you put people who want to actually believe in to leave in place of them and deliver the referendum result. Because we look at anything like Vic Cooper. Have you ever listened to this radio show before?
Honestly,
very early. I listen to Julia sometimes.
Okay. Here's the thing. My show. You know how old are you, Berger?
I'm in my 20s.
Okay, so you won't know this, but when because you get a camera and you get pictures instantly. When we were kids, right? You would have film in a camera, and you'd get like 26 pictures, and you would take the pictures. Then here's the weird thing: you'd either send it off in the post or take it to a chemist, and then 2 weeks later you'd go back and you'd get a little cardboard paper wallet with the pictures in, right? And you'd look at the pictures, and some were good, and some were great, and some were terrible, and some would have a sticker on and saying they weren't very good. And then in a little slot at the front, they would have the negatives of the pictures. Do you know what the negatives are?
No.
Right, the negatives, they're like the sort of opposite of the pictures. They're sort of transparent, black and white versions of the picture. So they're kind of the opposite, right? Well, this show is the picture. This show that you're talking to, this is the colour picture, right? Some bits of it are a little bit blurry, some have got sticker on, some are really good pictures, some you don't remember taking. And Julia's show is the negative of this show.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is, she wangs on about all of this stuff and spouts offensive, abusive, aggressive bollocks, right? On this show, we don't give a stuff about Brexit.
Okay.
So my tip to you is, don't assume all the shows on one station are going to be the same, and listen to at least half an hour of a show before you call in. Could you do that?
Will do, yeah.
Berger, thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Ollie.
Hi, Iain.
Hello, Ollie. What you got for us?
How you doing? You were thinking of...
I'm doing very well, thanks for asking.
Oh,
and then
well,
not waiting for an answer.
Well...
By the way, Ollie...
Yeah.
So, playing video games with Ollie... And you know that game we used to play, Kath, A Way Out, the prison escape game that we were talking about restarting again? We don't need to because Ollie's told me how it ends. So I was thinking, maybe, Ollie, I could speak to you off-air after this call because I'd really like to talk to you about what happens in the last 30 minutes of the Captain Marvel movie.
But usually, dump me off anyway, so...
No, because we're coming up to the news, so we'll talk on air up to the news.
Okay.
And then I'm going to come into the control room, and I'm going to take the call, and I'm going to tell you how the Captain Marvel... Because you've not seen it yet, have you?
No.
And you're looking forward to seeing it, aren't you? Yeah, I was looking forward to finishing that game. I don't need to now. So I'm going to tell you, just you, what happens at the end of Captain Marvel. Is that okay?
But I could put the phone down.
You won't, though. You won't.
Really?
You won't, because you're too much of a beta cuck. Anyway, go on. Sorry, what you got?
I was going to say, you were looking for acting work.
Yes.
Have you ever thought of doing, voiceover for video games?
Oh, I'd love to. Have you got a contact for me?
Well, I was thinking, why don't you do an audition?
Okay, go on then.
Now,
give me what to say.
I think, you should do, a cool intro line for your character like they do in Apex.
Okay, here we go. All right. So I'm kind of a crazy guy. I'm psycho. I'm a killer, but I'm fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna kill you all, suckers.
That comes really easily for you, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It's not bad, is it?
Also, what you got to do is you got to do sound effects, don't you? For people running. So I don't know if you want it to do.
Okay. Hang on. That sounds like I'm masturbating, actually. That's not... But you might need to. Video games these days, very, very raunchy, very blue.
Getting hit by bullets.
Oh! Shit, man!
And maybe, while you're running...
Shot!
While you're running, getting hit by bullets.
Getting a headache doing this, okay. Oh, my back! Oh!
Yeah, I like that.
Again, it sounds like I'm masturbating. Have I got the job, sir?
I think so. Somebody's at the door, Iain.
What? Hang on. Your door?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Should I answer it?
Yeah, go on.
I'm really scared. Wait a minute.
This is weird. Imagine he gets killed. If he gets killed, this is the film. This is how the film starts.
Hello?
Hello?
Iain?
Yes?
He says he wants to phone.
Okay, go on.
What are you doing with the phone, mate? Stop hitting me! No!
No, God, Ollie's being killed!
Kill me! No, it doesn't go up there! No!
Ollie! 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 This is how the film starts, but this is real. Jeez. I mean, luckily it was only Ollie. It wasn't like it wasn't a decent caller or an interesting guy. It's just someone who spoils the end of video games. But wow, this is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
You are sleeping. You do not want to believe.
Run away! Run for your life!
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold. A brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on.
Got my headphones off. It's exciting.
So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roll.
By the way, let me just flag up. If you call me a C word on Twitter, I can get you suspended. So I got you suspended. So just be careful, all right? Just don't go. Oh, also, see what makes it easier as well, because C word isn't always enough. A C word is a really, really good start, and then when I go through your tweets and you talk about welcoming home the Shamima Begum, but with her head in a bag, and things like that. That doesn't go down so well. And calling someone retarded. Apologies for the use of the word, but I'm just stuff kind of bolsters. So listen, your account isn't closed for good. So just a little suspension, a little time out. Just have a think about what you've done. Think about your language. Think about your tone. Just calm down and become a better. I'm doing it for you. I've got you suspended from Twitter to help you become a better person, to help you become the person that you know you want to be, okay? Not the bitter, angry asshole that you are right now. So that was my pleasure to do that. You don't need to thank me. I'm happy to do it. It's a service that I am happy to do. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We've got Katherine on the phones this evening. She will will answer the call and we'll call you back. And if she decides that you're good enough to come on the show, and you might not be, don't be offended. It's all part of the thing. Maybe we've been too slack, and maybe it's been to the detriment of the show, detriment to the entertainment factor of the show that we've had an open door policy, much like the immigration policy of this country recently, to the detriment of the country. Well, we're closing down the immigration and we're closing down letting any old sad case on the show, all right? But you can call in about pretty much anything. If you can call in to talk about Brexit, right? But don't give me that faux outrage about you. This is, I mean, honestly, I struggle to see why anyone cares. I found the Brexit debate enjoyable this evening. Found it exciting. I didn't have a clue what was going on. I don't really care. So 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. The other day, Katherine, I'm just trying to find it on my thing, played us a meditation that had been done by her 7-year-old daughter. Well, we've got a second meditation from her 7-year-old daughter, which I haven't listened to yet. So I thought we would play it. Now, please, I know it's probably safe to do this when you're driving. I don't know. I've not heard it. Just, just don't be an idiot, all right? You know, this. We don't want anyone to die as a direct. We've already lost one caller, Ollie, who was brutally murdered during his phone-in to the show. We suspect that there may be more murders happening, so please don't kill yourself whilst listening to this. But this is Little 'Un and her guided meditation.
Hello, welcome to some extreme relaxation. Thank you for all your kind comments on my first guided meditation. That encouraged me to do another one. So this is superpower listening. How this works is I make some noises and you have to guess what those noises are. Shall we start? Let's all take a moment to close our eyes and concentrate on our breathing. In, out. In, out. In, out. That's very good. Now that we're nice and relaxed, just be quiet for a moment. In a few moments, we will begin the listening exercise. How it works is, I make a sound, and you have to guess what it is. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Boo. Yes, that was a bee. Now, let's do another. 1, 2, 3. Have a think about what that was. Yes, it was a squirrel. Let's do one final sound. 1, 2, 3. Boop, 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 boop. Have a think about what that could have been. All your guesses are brilliant, but the answer was a microwave. Wasn't that fun? Let's just enjoy the peace and silence for a little while longer. Breathing in and out. In, out. That was good. After 3, let's all gently open our eyes. 1, 2, 3. Wasn't that lovely and relaxing? Thank you so much for taking part in this mindfulness exercise. I hope you all have nice empty heads now. I know I do. Night-night, weirdos.
There we go. Well, we all know that a lot of the listeners to the show do have empty heads, so that's excellent. Thank you very much, Little Un. That is appreciated. I feel much, much better. Much more relaxed as a direct result of that. I got the squirrel as well. I guessed a squirrel. I hope you're feeling more relaxed. We'll take a break, then we'll take some more phone calls. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Yeah, I bought a fridge today. That's the fridge freezer. Fridge freezer. That's the kind of life I'm leading at the moment. There's an old fridge freezer that came with the house, and I was thinking maybe I could clean it up. And I got home and I opened it and I went, no, I'm not. I'm buying a new one. I'm treating myself, and I spent £340 on a fridge freezer. Man, and that's cheap. That's a cheap one. It got 80% in Which magazine. That's a cheap one. I could have spent like 1,500 quid on a fridge freezer. And it's so frustrating, right? Because you spend 0344 499 1000. By the way, if you want to give us a call, at sports events you can't shout at. How long do I have to keep on forwarding the mail to the lady that used to live in the house? And have you ever pretended to be someone else on the phone? Those are the main talking points. But there's other stuff. You can call in about whatever you want. 0344 499 1000. But, you know, when you spend 340, maybe it was closer to 350, yes. When you spend 350 quid on something, that's like a PlayStation, that's like a Nintendo Switch, that's like quite a lot of money to spend on something fun. That could even be a little holiday, 350 quid. It's not, it's a fridge freezer. It's I'm going to say, the most boring thing you can have in a house. Even a washing machine is more fun than a fridge freezer. Washing machines can be quite good fun, right? Quite good fun. Let's not get carried away with ourselves here. Washing machines can be quite good fun. But fridge freezer is boring. Because you've got to put stuff in it. It'll be empty. It won't have food in it. I have to put food in it. I've got to eat the food that's in my freezer now because when they take the old one away, I'm guessing I have to have it defrosted. They won't take it full of ice, will they? They won't take it full of ice. You'll have to defrost it. So you got to empty the food in it and let that defrost. Oh, jeez. And then you go with someone comes around. You go, look at my new fridge freezer. So what? Who cares? Who cares? What a dull, miserable, boring life I lead. Fridge freezer. What did you do? I bought a fridge freezer. Flipping heck. 0344 499 1000. Change your tone ever so slightly. Thanks very much indeed. So, you know, there's this ongoing inquiry into historical sexual abuse, what they're calling VIP scandal, and they're looking to see if, you know, it's about into child rape, basically. And Boris Johnson today on another radio station said, unchallenged by the breakfast host. It's great when they get Boris on LBC because Nick Ferrari and him are mates. So Nick really can't interrupt him. Nick Ferrari can't interrupt Boris Johnson because it would mean having to pull his tongue out of his arsehole. And that just takes so much time. So he might as well just rim him for the whole time he's on air and let Boris just go on unchallenged. I think that's what happens. I'm not totally sure. I think that's what happens. Because he comes out with the most outrageous stuff. And I didn't hear it, but he did say, it's in a lot of the news things, and a lot of people point it in my direction, that this government inquiry into child sex abuse is like spaffing money up against the wall. He used the phrase spaffing. You know what spaffing means, right? You know what that means? It does mean that, doesn't it? Yeah. Spaffing. Waste of money is what he's trying to say, but he said the money was spaffed up against the wall. Use that term to describe an investigation into child rape. Bearing in mind, I think he wasted something like £38 million on a vanity project bridge when he was the mayor of London that doesn't exist. The bridge doesn't exist. It looks like it was all, it was awarded in a slightly dubious way, shall we say. Jobs for the boys, guys. Jobs for the boys. 0344 499 1000. But then there was another story. So this investigation is going on, and good that it is. And we shouldn't put a price on these kind of investigations. Don't worry, we'll go back to the fun stuff in a bit. You can call in about the fun stuff. 0344 499 1000. You can't put a price on victims being heard, right? Yeah, you can't. You shouldn't be able to put a price on that. So whatever it costs, great, let's do it. Let's get the truth, because also some people have had their names dragged through the mud who are completely innocent. So let's find out what happened, when it happened, who did it and who didn't do it, right? But then this is in lots of different things, and this is going to get ignored, I think. So it's important that we read this. It's on the BBC, it's on Sky, I've got it from The Guardian. Someone tweeted it earlier. Lord Steele, the Liberal Democrat peer, has admitted believing in 1979 that child abuse allegations against Sir Cyril Smith were true, but did nothing to assess whether he was a continuing risk to children. The former Liberal Party leader said the late MP for Rochdale confirmed in a conversation that reports of child sexual abuse in the media were accurate. He didn't do anything about it. Didn't even put, quietly behind closed doors suggest that maybe Cyril Smith wanted to stand down. Didn't do anything. Didn't go to the police. Didn't go to Margaret Thatcher. Didn't go to anything. And there was another thing about Margaret Thatcher yesterday, being told that one of her the cabinet was a child rapist, and she didn't investigate it. What VIP cover-up? But rather than suspend, back to The Guardian, rather than suspend and investigate the MP, Steele allowed him to continue in office. Smith stepped down as an MP in 1992 and died in 2010. Steele's astonishing statement was made at the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse on the day it was criticised as a waste of money by the Conservative leadership hopeful Boris Johnson. So the man who wants to be Prime Minister of this country thinks that this investigation is a waste of money. Used the phrase, the money was being spaffed against the wall. It's the guy that wants to be Prime Minister. That's the guy who is I don't want to say, but he's partly responsible for the mess we're in now. Quite a big part. Right? Steele, 80, has previously appeared to deny knowing whether Smith was a child abuser. In an interview with the BBC's Newsnight last year, he said the allegations were scurrilous hearsay. Richard Scorer, a specialist abuse lawyer at Slater and Gordon, said Steele's failure to act upon Smith's confession was an extraordinary dereliction of duty. This is a quote from Scorer, Smith went on to abuse boys at a care home in the 80s. If Steele had taken action in 1979 and stripped Smith of his power and status, then that abuse would have probably been prevented, Scorer claimed. Under questioning, Steele said he confronted Smith about the allegations of child sexual abuse in 1979 after reading them in Private Eye magazine. A series of young boys in Rochdale children's homes had claimed that their local MP had stripped, spanked and bathed their buttocks. Isn't it? And on occasion fondled their genitals, the magazine claimed. Steele told the inquiry he questioned Smith about the allegations during a meeting in the House of Commons. What I said to him was, "What's all this about you in Private Eye?" He said, rather to my surprise, it is correct that he'd been in charge of or had some supervisory role in a children's hospital, that he'd been investigated by the police and that they had taken no further action, and that was the end of the story, the peer said. The allegations of sexual assault against Smith were investigated by Lancashire Police in 1969, but no action was taken. Steele said that he did not question Smith further about specific child abuse claims, but concluded that the allegations were true. Inquiry counsel Brian Altman QC said, "So you understood that he'd actually committed these offences from what he said to you?" Steele responded, "I assumed that." Steele said he did not ask the party to launch any form of formal inquiry into Smith because the alleged incidents took place before Smith was voted in as an MP in 1972. He also said he did not seek any further advice on the allegations or discuss them with the colleagues. Shame on you, David Steele. Shame on you, David Steele. Okay. The hearing heard that Steele... it gets worse. The hearing heard that Steele passed a recommendation that Smith should receive a knighthood in 1988. He recommended him for the knighthood! I don't know if that is worse, actually, but he recommended him for the knighthood! What VIP cover-up, guys? What VIP cover-up? The hearing heard that Steele passed a recommendation that Smith should receive a knighthood in 1988, which was successful. Steele said he did not mention his conversation about sexual abuse to the Honours Committee. It never occurred to me to tell the Honours Committee about it, he said. It was all, in a sense, in the public domain through private eye. In a June 2018 appearance on the BBC's Newsnight programme, he described child sex abuse allegations against Smith as tittle-tattle. Steele told the hearing he thought he was referring in the interview to claims made in a book by former Rochdale MP Simon Danczuk. Remember the Danchuks? Remember them? In 2014, Danczuk, in his co-authored book Smile for the Camera, The Double Life of Cyril Smith, claimed the politician had been left free to abuse children as young as 8, despite 144 complaints by victims. So David Steele not only kept it quiet, he flipping well recommended him for a knighthood. What? What VIP cover-up, guys? We're screwed. We're screwed. David Steele, a man that I always thought was very personable on the telly. I kind of trusted him. I kind of trusted his opinion. He's in on it. He's in on it. We kind of knew Thatcher was in on it. That came out yesterday. We kind of knew she was. But people like David Steele knew about it and allowed it to continue? That's nuts, man. That is nuts. Right, enough on that. You can call in about that if you want, or you can call in about the silly stuff. Mark, stay there. You're going to be next. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Unmissable late-night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee. The late-night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Good evening, Mark.
Hey, how are you?
I'm all right, Mark. What have you got for us tonight?
Regarding this David Steele stuff.
Yes.
Do you believe in the Illuminati? Have you ever read any of the David Icke books?
We've had David Icke on the show.
Oh, have you?
I haven't read the David Icke books because they're quite long and life's too short. Do I believe in the Illuminati? I want to say no, right? I want to say no, but I am... maybe the scales are falling from my eyes. I don't believe in the Illuminati in perhaps the way that you believe in the Illuminati, but I do believe that there are some dodgepots that are covering up for other dodgepots, and this David Steele thing kind of proves that.
Yeah, I mean, I've read a couple of his books, David Icke's books, and yeah they are long. But when you read some of the verifiable facts in there, it does make you think.
Yeah, go on, like what? Give me some examples.
Well, he states that the biggest drug dealers in the world are the Bush family.
Go on.
He says that it's been verifiable that, I can't remember the relation to the George Bushes, but it was a cousin or somebody within the family who was caught with a plane full of drugs, and somehow it all just disappeared.
Okay, so but where's it? Well, we know that George W. Bush was a cocaine user, was a heavy cocaine user, wasn't he, in like the 70s?
Yeah,
I think I was a heavy cocaine user, so I'm not necessarily making a moral judgment about that.
It's to do with the cover-up stuff. That's what my opinion on.
Okay, but is that Do you know what? I could believe it, but is that a fact? Is that an actual?
He again. It's only what I've read. He says there are facts to show reports of a plane coming in.
Yeah.
And somehow or another it disappeared. He makes other claims as well. He makes claims that I don't believe.
Well, he always doesn't he claim that the Queen is a shape-shifting lizard as well?
Yeah, you see, that stuff just goes too far for me.
Well, and that's...
He talks about sexual abuse within the US.
He talked about Jimmy Savile a long time before others talked about Jimmy Savile. He had a thing about Jimmy Savile up on his website, I think, when Jimmy Savile was still alive.
I didn't know you'd had him on because... a new listener, but...
I'll go and have a look on YouTube. We didn't talk about any of the theories. We just chatted to him, the man, and I found him very delightful, if I'm completely honest. I know some people think he's anti-Semitic, but the chat we had, I found him very personable.
It's easy to just label him as a fruitcake.
Yeah.
That's the easy thing to do.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
When you read some of his books and some of his theories, it's... some of it's very... convincing.
I just wish they weren't so long, and I just wish his talks didn't go on for 8 hours.
Yeah, no, I've never been one of his talks, but that was the first thing I wanted to talk to you about. I believe in elements of there are probably higher powers going on you can apply that to how Trump got in. You can apply it to. It's hard. It's hard not to go down a conspiracy.
Someone's just tweeted me. Jamie's just tweeted me. Your stumbling betrays you. You, sir, are an Illuminati. So I'm being called out as a member of it. I might be. I work for Murdoch. You never know. I do think though I do think that there is a cover up about the sexual abuse in the government. And I think that this inquiry is very, very important. And I think David Steele's admission today is perhaps the turning point.
Well, let's hope so.
He recommended Cyril Smith for a knighthood, man, knowing that he was a paedophile.
But that doesn't surprise me. It just doesn't anymore.
It does from David Steele, because I always I don't know why. I remember seeing him on telly when I was a kid and thinking, I like this guy. There's something about him. I liked his spitting image puppet. I thought there was just something about him, but he's part of the cover-up.
And this is why nobody trusts I don't trust anybody in government. You know, they're all looking after themselves. The next thing I wanted to briefly talk to you about is kind of related, but it might be too boring for you. I might get cut off. But
okay.
Do you know much about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies?
I know. Now, can't you mine Bitcoin from your hard drive?
Well, not anymore. It's not. You used to.
I know something about Bitcoin. Didn't you used to be able to mine Bitcoin from your hard drive?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, back in 2009.
Okay, I'm 10 years out.
No, there was a story. So it started in 2009. There was a story that hit the papers about 5 years ago of a guy in Wales that mined a load of Bitcoin on a laptop.
Yeah.
And then threw away the laptop, and then Bitcoin price went up, and then he suddenly remembered he'd mined a load, and somewhere in this field of a trash waste disposal site was this laptop, but at the time it was worth £500,000.
Yeah.
Because the price had gone up so much. But I'm a big proponent of it because it's the first big move away from government.
Okay.
No governments can stop it. You know, like, if the government needs more money, it's just going to print more money.
Yeah.
Quantitative easing, all of that stuff. And I'm a big proponent of it because it's decentralized. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can turn it off.
But didn't its value drop massively recently?
It dropped, yeah. I mean, it got up to, in December 2 years ago, it was £13,000.
For a Bitcoin?
Yeah. Okay. It's about 2,800.
Well, how much of it have you got?
I've got a few.
Shut the front door, really?
I'm a broker of it now, so.
Shut up, man. How much are you worth millions?
Not yet.
But you're getting there. I like this guy. I want to be friends with Mark. Mark is going to be quids in. I'm one of the dragons. I'm in. I'll give you £500 for 20% of your company.
I talked to you about yesterday. I told you yesterday that I'd lost millions and all of that stuff.
Oh, yeah, you're naughty, Mark, yes. You're formerly naughty. Formerly naughty, Mark. Formerly naughty, Mark. Now you're good, Mark.
Yeah, but no, it's the first big anti-government and anti-established banking system thing out there. And although a lot of people think it's a con, a lot of people think it's a Ponzi scheme, the actual core thing of it is powerful.
Yeah,
you should look into it more. It's anti a lot of what's wrong.
But I'm not. I'm not that. Here's the thing, Mark. That is, I'm starting to get a grip on something that I think I've sort of known for a while, but I've never really been able to verbalise it. And I'm still struggling to verbalise it. But put very bluntly, I don't really care about anything. I don't think I care about. No, let me rephrase that. I don't care about most things, right? I don't care about Brexit, and maybe I should. I don't care about the government. I don't care. I don't care. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I don't care.
And as the older you get and the more life experience you get, gives you that opinion. I get that. But what you do care about is that when your kids are our age, if we're not careful, they will be in the shit. Things are going to get harder for our kids.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Financially, my kids are going to be all right.
Good.
And I know that sounds quite... unless something goes hideously wrong, they're going to be all right, okay? They're going to inherit a house where the mortgage will be paid off. You know, they're going to be all right, okay? And beyond that, of course I care about my kids, but beyond that, I don't care. I don't.
Well, as long as you know that, I mean, I can't say that at the moment.
No, and I know I'm aware I'm in a very privileged position, so I get that.
You know, but within the next few years, I'll be able to say that. But that's you've hit the nail on your head, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like that's what we care about: knowing your kids are going to be all right financially, knowing they're not going to have to worry about, you know, like you said, they're going to have a house without a mortgage and what have you between them, what have you.
Yeah.
That's what we're working for.
Yeah.
And that's what.
But I don't care. This, you know, the David Steele stuff and stuff, that gets me angry. You know, that gets me angry. But nothing's going to change. Nothing will change. It will. You know, there's some names will come out and people go, "Oh, I always thought they were a bit suspicious. That's outrageous." Lessons will be learned, and the only lesson that will be learned is that people will get better at covering up. It's happening now, right? So
yeah.
I don't care.
You don't care about it because you know you can't change it.
Partly, I think so. But also, you say it's because I'm getting old. I think when I was younger, I didn't care. I just don't care. All I want to do, right, Mark? All I want to do is be able to play some video games, read some books, and go to the cinema every once in a while. That's it. Everything else is a bonus. That's it. That's all I want.
If you've hit that point of your life and you're at that, you've pretty much succeeded then, haven't you?
I think so. I think I'm winning the game.
But you should buy a Bitcoin each for your kids.
What, for like 12?
People are saying they'll be worth they're about 2,500 quid.
No, because they might. What if the whole thing is going to collapse?
I'm not saying you should buy it now. I think it's going to half in price.
Okay.
But a lot of very well-respected people that know what they're talking about, because there's only so many of them. Yeah. There's only ever going to be 21 million.
Okay.
So when that runs out, people are saying it's going to be kind of like a gold reserve.
I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to buy those idiots a Bitcoin. They can buy me Bitcoins. They got more money than me. Seriously, those kids have got more money than me. Mark, thank you very much indeed. A call is appreciated. 0344 499 1000. It's dawning on me that for most of my life I haven't, maybe all of my life, I haven't cared. I don't care. I'm saying I should care about Brexit. I shouldn't care about it. I don't care. I'm kind of watching it. I enjoyed it a bit this evening because it was exciting and it was funny. I don't care. I don't care if we're in or out, really. I mean, I have a preference, but I don't really care. This David Steele sex abuse thing, I think it's important, but I don't really care. Donald Trump, I don't care about Donald Trump. I can't indulge in the outrage that some people are feeling. Global warming, I don't really care. All I want to do is be able to watch some movies, read some books and play PlayStation. That's it. I think I'm sorted. actually. 0344 499 1000. The switchboard is empty for the first time this evening, dear listener. So now will be a good time to give us a call. This is the Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee. On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone. Oh! This is what I wanted to ask you. Hang on a minute. Where's the thing? What do you call the main room in your house? I heard this on Radio 4, and it turns out there's a thing. There's a thing. What do you call the main room in your house? Right? Do you call it a sitting room? Is it a living room? The story I've got here isn't actually the thing I was thinking it was. But what do you call? Because I think I call mine the front room. I want to say the living room, but that doesn't feel right. I think I call it the front room. So 0344 499 1000. What do you call the room? Some people still call it the drawing room. And I only found out today why it's called the drawing room. Do you know why it's called the drawing room? Because after dinner, the ladies would withdraw to the drawing room. I think I've got that right. Is that right? It's called the drawing room because after dinner, the ladies would withdraw to the drawing room. I think that's why it's called that. I think. But I call it the front room, which I think makes me common. I think the front room is common. The living room is middle class. No, maybe the lounge is middle class. Maybe the lounge. 0344 499 1000. What do you call it? Anyway, this isn't the story that I thought it was, but basically, the living room and what the furniture we have in it is changing, according to this story. For anyone still reclining on matching settees in a room complete with swag curtains, I don't know what swag curtains are, and tie-backs. I know what tie-backs is when you tie the curtain up at the thing. It could be time to call in the decorators, not a euphemism. John Lewis has revealed its latest sale figures and revealed the three-piece suite is no longer a staple of the modern lounge. Now, I don't know what a three-piece suite is. Does it mean... Well, it means there are three pieces. So is it like a three-seater, a two-seater and a one-seater? Is that three-piece? Who would ever have room for a three-piece suite? We used to have... Oh, it could be, I suppose, we used to have a three-seater... and maybe two one-seaters. That would make more sense, wouldn't it? Currently, I have a three-seater and a two-seater. And I'm trying to find a Chesterfield Queen Anne chair for my office. That's what I'm looking for. They're so expensive, aren't they? Even like really crap... There was a really crappy, battered-up one on eBay, right? Where all the leather was torn and it was a real mess, right? And so I put in a bid... My first bid was £100, and I was in the lead for a long time. And then I went nuts one night, as you do late at night, and I ended up putting a bid of like 230 quid in, and it would have cost me £70 to get it delivered as well. But it went for over 300 quid. This was a really crappy one that was battered. I've bought a footstool. I've just got to get a chair. John Lewis is... The retailer said the changing function of the sitting room, which has replaced the kitchen as the hub of the home, also led to a slump in sales of pleated curtains and mantel clocks. Customers are instead opting for remote-controlled blinds and smart speakers, with sales of the latter up 35% year-on-year. Whoa, dude! Meanwhile... the standard TV size has increased from 47 inches in 2014 to 70 inches. That's too big. I've got a 52-incher. And that, I mean, well, part of me thinks actually I could do... Actually, 70 inches I think I could do. As new homes are increasingly being built with combined living dining space, three-piece suites are being replaced by adaptable modular furniture. John Lewis's home buying director, Jonathan Marsh, said the suite has also fallen victim to the age of individualism, with shoppers opting for statement sofas to express personal styles. OK, so what is out? The three-piece suite, chenille sofa. Is chenille the material if you brush it one way it looks like a different colour? Okay. Matching wooden pieces. Do you remember when I bought my house and the woman was really keen for me to take the massive dark brown wall unit? And I kept saying, no, I'll have the piano, I'll have the fridge, and I'll have the thing. Well, you can have the... I tell you what, why don't I throw in the massive dark brown wall unit for free? I'm all right, thanks. Crystal ceiling light, pinch pleat-headed curtains, wallpaper on a feature wall. That's quite 90s, a feature wall. Rectangular mirrors. Rectangular mirrors are out? What? Vases of twisted willow, matching cushions. I mean, all of this stuff is rubbish, really. I was thinking about this today. Fashion is nonsense, isn't it? Fashion is basically... fashion is people that want to make money off us, telling us the things you need to replace because they don't look right. Who really... when I was at my sister's the other day, I was looking at their sofa for the first time. This is how boring I am. I was looking at her sofa for the first time, and it was quite an old-fashioned sort of wooden frame. And I was thinking, that looks really good, man. That's a good sofa, but it looks quite 60s to me. But it's a good sofa. What's in individual hero cushions? I don't know what hero cushions, huh? Gallery wall, round mirrors, Echo Dot speakers, Shut up, man. Wallpaper on the ceiling? This is nonsense. But... What? What's in a bar trolley? That looks like an 80s thing. This is not... We'll continue this in a second. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, George.
Good evening.
Good evening, George. Well, I think everyone's recovered from your story about getting blown off in a car.
No, I didn't get blown off in a car.
Oh, okay.
As I say, I got stitched up.
Oh, really? I thought... Well,
I said I was sitting, speaking.
Let's not go back over it. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So what have you got for us this evening?
I was just thinking, if one word to go with your name, what would it be? You know, I'm Rainbow George.
Yes.
What sort of Ian, what word would go in front of your name?
Okay, well, what would you think?
Careless.
Beg your pardon? How rude. Well, in what way?
Right. You said
careless?
You don't care about anything.
Oh, I see what you've done there. Very clever. Yeah. Okay, careless. Yeah, I'll have that.
Careless, Ian?
I don't care. But careless makes it sound like I'm clumsy, and I am very, very not clumsy.
But in my mind, you from now on, you will be...
In my mind, you're dead.
Careless, Ian.
Oh, okay.
And... You said you thought you were psychic, but you weren't very psychic yesterday because you said Mrs. May wouldn't appear in the house, and she did do.
Well, did she? I didn't see her. I only heard someone with a raspy voice. How do you know it was her?
Well, I was watching her on television.
Well, how do you know it was her?
Well, how do you know anyone is anyone?
Exactly. I've seen Jurassic Park, and then it turns out they're not real dinosaurs. It's all green screen.
It's all...
You take things... Here's your problem, George. You take things at face value. You need to ask more questions.
I've asked many questions.
You're asking the wrong questions.
Don't think so.
No, well, no, you... Exactly, and that's your problem. You don't think so.
It's...
You asked the wrong questions to the wrong people.
This is a very mystical time for me. I am seeing...
What's it, the anniversary of going wrong this time?
No, it's just I'm seeing sort of biblical prophecies unfolding. And
for example, Brexit's in the Bible, is it?
No. It prophesies a time when it says children will lead you, and I think our young people will lead us.
Children, actual children.
Well, I think there is going to be another referendum,
right?
And I I think that referendum should only be only teenagers should be allowed.
Well, that's
to
not
take
good. But
part
what?
in
But so the prophecy is that children will lead us, and so you think we should have a referendum that only teenagers can vote in. But we know that's not going to happen. So how is the prophecy? You said biblical prophecies were unfolding before your eyes. That one doesn't count because it's nonsense. Give us a real one.
Of references to the people of the islands, and in biblical.
We all live on islands, though. We all live on an island.
Yeah, but I believe that I am made to believe that we are the people of the islands, and things are going to happen.
Well, hang on a minute. Saying things are going to happen is not a prophecy unfolding. That's a prophecy. You said you had you saying things are going to happen isn't a prophecy unfolding. That's just a prophecy.
No,
you said prophecies are unfolding. Go on, give me one.
Well, if you look in the book of Revelation and the prophecy about the apocalypse, I think we're witnessing the preamble towards the apocalypse.
But the preamble towards the apocalypse isn't a prophecy happening. You're just making another prophecy. Listen, the question on everyone's lips is: did that lady blow you off in the car or not?
No.
OK, thank you very much, George. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Oh, it's the strangest thing. I wasn't looking out for anything. My boat had just set sail. I was flying as the wind prevailed. What did you think you were doing? I couldn't shake loose, not from you, not from you. I couldn't shake loose, now I don't mind. Put your hands up, say you won't stop giving me love, 'cause I need you to feel me, feel me. Put your hands up, say you won't stop giving me love. I don't care if it's greedy, whatever you want, you've got it. Whatever you do, I'm on it. Ooh, whatever you want, you've got it. Just put your hands up. I was a lonely girl, swimming lost in the widest sea, but the truth of it, that ain't no man could ever get to me. Now I just see stars when I'm with you. Oh, this is my heart that I give you. What did you do with your voodoo child? What did you do to me? Put your hands up, say you won't stop giving me love, 'cause I need you to feel me, feel me. Put your hands up, say you won't stop giving me love. I don't care if it's greedy, whatever you want, you've got it. Whatever you do, I'm on it. Ooh, whatever you want, you've got it. Just put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands Put your hands up, say you won't stop giving me love, 'cause I need you to feel me.
Oh, man, I love Narina Palo so much. She comes on the show. She gave me a picture that she painted. I need to get that framed. Lots to talk about, dear listener. What do you call your front room, your living room, your lounge? Sports events you can't shout at. I don't know. Ever pretended to be someone else on the phone? 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Let's go to Natalie. Good evening, Natalie.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm all right, Natalie. What have you got for us tonight?
Oh, nothing much. I just saw your tweet about not caring about anything, really, and I just wanted to say, like, I kind of felt a real connection with that. I just kind of felt like I'm really feeling like that right now, like a bit exhausted by everything, you know?
Yeah.
I just kind of felt a little bit like Brexit has kind of exhausted everyone of feelings that we kind of thought we had. Do you know what I mean?
Here's the thing. Brexit's been going on for, like, 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And we've got at least another 10 or 15 years of it.
You see?
Because,
wow.
oh, God, well, listen, here, let's do the boring bit, right? Let's assume that this deal will go through, right? You know that the deal that we've got is, the deal is just the deal that starts the negotiations about stuff. That isn't it done?
Yeah.
That then starts the proper negotiations.
I know.
It's nuts. And it's boring. And I don't care.
That's what's exhausted about it. And I was speaking to someone saying, I said, I try and keep up with politics, and I actually feel like Brexit has got me at my breaking point where I just go, I can't even deal with it today. I don't want to know. It's going to change by tomorrow. I'm done. I'll catch up in a week or so.
But it sounds like, right, you sound like, Natalie, you sound like a very intelligent young woman, but you sound like you've cared in the past and you've just reached...
Yeah, for sure.
Overload.
Yeah.
You've reached overload. Caring overload.
Yeah, my husband kind of laughs at me because he goes, "Why'd you care so much?" And I'm like, "Well, this is the future, man." But he's like, "Brexit ain't going to happen," and I'm like, I'm kind of seeing his point now and going, I mean, we're about to move abroad anyway.
Oh, wait, steady.
Sorry.
No, Natalie, listen, she's kind of gone. F it. Let's go to Rotterdam. I get it. It's a yellow card, Natalie. It's a yellow card.
I just kind of went, okay, let's do it, you know.
Well done. That's
sorry.
a much better way of expressing it. Well done.
Sorry, I forgot where I was. But, you know, I still care, you know. I still care. I've got family here. I've got friends here.
Hang on, how can you go to Rotterdam? Won't, if Brexit does happen, right, won't it be really difficult for you to go to Rotterdam?
Well, again, I don't know. We're about to go in April.
Oh. Well, maybe not then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I keep saying this to my husband, you know, it's going to throw up so many other problems that we're going to have to fill out way more paperwork. And he's like, just chill. And I'm like, yeah, because you're already there, babe. And I'm seeing what's happening. And, you know, I still care. I want to come back to this country, and I just really got your tweet. It's exhausting.
A few people, Giselle and a few others, have said that that me not caring is apathy connected with mental health, and it isn't. It isn't a mental health thing. It's a genuine. I just don't. As you said, F it. I just don't. It's not a depression thing. I don't care.
It's an exhaustion of what we can't change at the moment. Like, we don't really have control over what's happening at the moment, and it's the exhaustion of knowing what we're capable of controlling, and what we're not capable of controlling.
Are you aware of the comedian Limmy, the Scottish comedian Limmy?
Love him.
He's great, and hopefully he's going to come in the studio soon, right? But he will quite often tweet if there's a big news story, like about Trump. Being investigated and Trump's advisors going to prison, right? Mm-hmm. He'll tweet that, and then he tweets, and do you know what will change? Absolutely nothing. Nothing will change. And that's it. Nothing ever changes.
Yeah, and I kind of think sometimes it's about reserving your energy for the things that you can change, because at the moment none of us can change this or what's happening until they throw it back in our hands, which they don't seem they want to do. So, or rightly or wrongly, for whatever people say, new referendum, not another referendum, whatever. But, you know, it's out of our hands, and that's kind of saving your own mental health, because you kind of have to go what's in your hands and what's not. And I don't know. I just, you know, I don't want to waste your airtime. I just wanted to say I really felt with that tweet.
Thank you. I appreciate
I totally understand it, and I totally am just that ostrich putting my head in the sand.
It's not a waste of airtime. The whole show's a waste of airtime, let's be honest, Natalie, but I appreciate your call. Thank you very much. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's not a mental health thing. It's not a... I don't care about any... I just don't care. And I can't think of a time I've ever cared. I remember, like, at school, when you're about 14, 15, and some kids are getting into politics and would stay up and watch Question Time, and I would try and get excited about stuff and try and, you know, I just don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Care that I've got enough money to pay the rent, mortgage. The kids are all right, and I can play video games and sleep. That's it. That's it. That's all I want. That's all I want. Good evening, Tony.
Hello there, Ian. First time caller.
Well done. 5 points.
I just wanted to actually, first off, I just want to say it's 25p a minute, and I've been listening for about 5 minutes. How much has this cost me?
Firstly, thanks very much for listening and being a fan. We call it. Secondly, it doesn't cost 25 pence a minute. Thirdly, you're an idiot. Next point. It's not cost you anything, mate, because I don't know if you remember that Katherine phoned you back.
You called me back. You called me back. You did.
And
you
also,
did.
it's not. Also, the phone number isn't 25 pence a minute anyway. For most packages, it's free. So stop being a dick. Get to the point.
Don't swear like the last caller, please. Anyway, just wanted to speak.
Thanks for your call, Tony. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. No idiots, Katherine. Come on, you know the deal. Oh man, alive. Let's have a break.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee. Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Do you want to come in? Come on, Boyles. You've done your work. You've done your work. Come in and play. Come in and hang out and play. Oh, this is interesting. Look. Hollywood stars and housewives actress we mentioned this yesterday, among dozens accused of paying £4.6 million bribes to get children into elite colleges. Hollywood stars are among dozens of wealthy parents accused of paying up to £4.6 million bribes. £4.6 million bribes. £4.6 million bribes. That's it. That's the sentence. That is the sentence, isn't it? £4.6 million bribes.
Pound bribes.
4.6. No, it's of paying up to £4.6 million bribes.
Yeah.
Well, no, because that's then saying that they've paid a 4.6. This is the total sum. They've not paid £4.6 million in a bribe. Hollywood stars are among dozens of wealthy parents accused of paying up to £4.6 million bribes. No. Hollywood stars are among dozens of wealthy parents accused of paying up to £4.6 million bribes. No, it should be. Hollywood stars are among dozens of wealthy parents accused of paying bribes up to £4.6 million. That's what it should be. Bribes is in the wrong place. Daniel Bates in New York. To get their children into elite US colleges. Police yesterday arrested 50 people, including Desperate Housewives actress Felicity Huffman. I thought she was, when I read the story initially, she was the lady that started Huffington Post.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was a lady that started Huffington Post, wasn't it? Like Teresa Huffington.
Mm-hmm.
Not Felicity Huffman.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
She started the less popular Huffman Post, didn't take off.
Over claims they paid for entrance exam officials to fake test scores and athletic performances to secure admission to top universities such as Yale and Stanford is nothing sacred anymore. Dear God.
Here's the thing, though.
Yes.
When I applied for Cambridge, unsuccessfully, I had to write on the front of my application form, and this was in the 90s, what my dad did for a living, and whether any member of my family had already been to Cambridge, and if so, which college.
Okay.
So why does that make a difference?
Because supposing they've been like a drug dealer or a sex offender, then we all know that those things are genetic and pass through the DNA, and so they would not accept you.
Do you want my theory?
I'm going to get it, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they get two applications.
Yeah.
And they look at one, and they look at another, and obviously you're quite bright to even get there in the first place.
Yeah.
And then they see someone whose dad is a multi-millionaire and has been to Cambridge, maybe.
Yeah.
Could buy them a library. And then they see my dad.
But why not? I don't see a problem with that. You know what I haven't got a problem with? Nepotism. I haven't got a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you're going to help your kids out.
No, but what I'm saying is that very different from what's happening there?
Oh, no, I was going off on a tangent.
Okay.
I don't have any problem with nepotism. My kids want to get in the radio industry, then, God damn it, I'm going to help them do it.
I tell you when people have a problem with nepotism.
Yeah.
When it can't work for them.
Exactly. Everyone helps their kids. Here's the thing, right? So, is it nepotism if a farmer gives his farm to his children? Is that nepotism? Yes, it is, but no one complains about that. Is it nepotism
Sometimes the kid does.
Is it nepotism if an Italian family who own a pizza restaurant give it to their children? Yeah? So what? Deal with it. Get on with it. It's life. So nepotism is as old as the hills. It's what society is based on. You know, back in the the Middle Ages, a blacksmith, their son would be a blacksmith, and his son would be a blacksmith, and his son would be a blacksmith, and his son would be a blacksmith.
And then his son would be king of the north.
Exactly. So screw you, a-holes. Sorry, it's irrelevant to this story, though. Prosecutors said the scheme ran from 2011 until last month, and that middlemen have raked in $25 million from payments from parents of between $200,000 and $6.1 million. Along with Oscar-nominated Miss Huffman, who is married to fellow movie star William H. Macy. What does he know about it? The actress Lori Loughlin, who stars in the TV show Full House, was also arrested.
Gosh.
Big show in the States, Full House. Stars the guy that thinks he's the drummer for the Beach Boys. Oh, what's his name? It doesn't matter. Others include wealthy financiers, a fashion designer, and chairman of an international law firm.
We get it, rich people.
According to the prosecutors, the leader of the scheme, William Singer, set up a non-profit organisation called Key Worldwide Foundation to launder money from the parents that he also used to bribe college entrance exam officials. Singer also allegedly used his connections to bribe administrators to designate applicants as athletic recruits, even if they were not any good at sports, as this would improve their chances of getting in. In some cases, it was claimed he photoshopped pictures of the children onto the bodies of athletes to make them look sportier. Miss Huffman, 56, was last night in custody, charged with conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. According to a legal document, she made a charitable contribution of $15,000 to Singer for her eldest daughter, Sophia, to have her SAT exam answers, the equivalent of A-levels, secretly corrected afterwards.
Oh, dear.
She got it cheap, though. Listen to this. Miss Loughlin and her husband, Mossimo Giannulli, the fashion designer and founder of Mossimo Clothing. You've heard of Mossimo Clothing? You've seen Mossimo? You've seen... Come on, man. Of course you've seen Mossimo.
No.
You have.
What is it?
Google it. It's like famous clothing brand.
Mossimo?
Mossimo, though. Yeah, it's famous. Anyway, they have paid $500,000 to have their two daughters designated as recruits for the rowing team at the University of South Carolina.
Oh, they sell it at Target. I wouldn't know that.
Although the girls do not row, it is claimed their father provided photos of them on rowing machines to use in the fraud.
I mean...
Wowzers.
Rich people play the system. Is that a newsflash?
Well, I mean...
it's an elaborate thing, if that's what's happened.
Nothing changes. Nothing changes.
It's just now they got Photoshop.
Now they got the old Photoshop, and that's that. I tell you what, I said we were going to do this yesterday, and we didn't. Let's go, as the switchboard is empty, apart from Rainbow George, who's trying to get on again. George, put the phone down. Let's find that Radio Garden website, and radio.garden, and let's see if we can find a radio station worth listening to, because this one ain't at the moment. So radio.garden is this brilliant website where you can listen to not all the radio stations in the world. You can...
Stoke Mandeville Hospital Radio online streaming.
There you go.
Brought to you by Perry's of Aylesbury. Visit
There you go. Well, you can... We're straight into Stoke Mandeville Hospital Radio. You can listen to radio stations from all over the world. So let's see if we can find...
FM Online with York's ultra fibre optic from TalkTalk. Reliable.
OK, we don't want the adverts. Come on.
Times fast.
Okie dokie.
No slowdowns.
Minster FM. Here we go. Halton Community Radio. Here we go.
I look, I see her smile.
That's okay. I mean, the problem is... That was Radio Northwich. The UK ones are going to be...
slhospice.co.uk. Volunteers help in a number of ways. We run 9 charity shops in those towns across the area, but also for those events as well, so we can put these huge fundraisers on. One of our biggest events of the year is coming up on Sunday the 19th of May at Blakemere Village in Sandway, and that's our Bubble Rush, which is always a lot of fun. It's 5 kilometres. We bill it as our foam-filled, friendly fun fest.
I'm sorry, any race that's 5 kilometres is not a lot of fun.
Family.
I mean,
and if you like
it's a great
bubbles,
cause,
you like having fun, then certainly come and see us on that. As I say, SL Hospice.
I do like bubbles, and I do like having fun.
I don't like running.
No. Bubbles.
If you're involved with a community group in Mid-Cheshire, we want to hear from you.
This is good.
Go
I
to
thought that these...
Cheshire
This is Cheshire FM. I thought that these proper local radio stations had all died out. It's a shame they're playing crap music. But this sounds like a great radio station.
I don't think they're there though.
And then, well, exactly. And then you get, who's this? Ariana Grande,
No.
May Tang.
Is it?
Who's the lady that I quite like now? China Black.
What?
China Black.
Really?
I like China Black.
What does she sing?
I don't know what she sings.
I know Black China, who had a baby with a Kardashian.
I like Black China.
Well, they don't anymore.
I like Black China. I will take that child on as my own. Black China's involved.
I don't think she's interested in you. You're not rich enough.
Oh, excuse me. It's not all about the money. Money.
Are you sure?
Okay. Well, this is. There we go. Hospital Radio Colchester. Here we go.
That was Zara Larson.
Okay. Do
you know this one?
Yes. I'm trying to find Forest FM. Here we go. Forest FM. It's a great website, this.
Hey, mama, don't you treat me wrong. Come and love your daddy.
It's 12:27. There's a frenzy going on.
It's a shame. Are you on a proper local radio? If I ran a radio station, I'd love to run a local radio station. Someone give me the gig, right? Because you wouldn't be playing music. You'd have just like some local old duffer just talking.
Yeah.
Just talking all night long. Like this.
Like this?
It's this. Then let's try it. Because a lot of these stations are just playing the same...
Yeah, they'll be automated.
All right, mate. Don't ruin the magic. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's Queen. Cross Rhythms, Plymouth. There we go.
Why are they cross?
They're playing crap music. BBC Radio Devon. Hello.
They're having their quiet hour.
Home to You, his new song. Performed for us very proudly at the Velvet Peignoir Club.
Oh, Velvet Peignoir Club performing very proudly. Does that mean he had a boner? You're proud you have a boner, right?
Well, almost time for us to head off from the Velvet Peignoir
So,
Club, but...
when people say they're proud of you, is that what they mean?
Yeah.
We mentioned in critical appreciation of the performance...
Let's go to America. America was where it at, isn't it?
I've just remembered that TV show, that TV channel we found the other day.
Oh,
the best thing ever.
We watched one of those. You know, there's these local TV channels. It was a weird thing that they set up about 3 or 4 years ago, where you get proper local TV, right? And everyone bid to get these licenses, like Towns TV, right? And everyone bid for these licenses, and then very, very quickly realised that they didn't have enough money to actually make 24 hours of programming. So they changed the licensing a bit and said, right, well, you've got to have like 4 hours a day of regional programming. The rest can be like old episodes of Boone and stuff. And that is, they show Boone and stuff like that.
Do they?
Yeah. And it's an idea that's kind of good, but actually it didn't work, and it was never going to work. But we were watching, like, I think it was That's Oxford.
Something like that.
That's Oxford.
And what it was there's a lot of tours of charity shops.
That's Oxford.
And talking to very ardent and determined women about the price of cocoa.
That's Oxford.
Oh, yeah, and then there was the same local politician kept getting interviewed about roads.
Local councillor. It's not about local councillor. Was in 3 different reports. One about recycling, one about gritting, and one about buses. That's Oxford. It was the weirdest thing.
I kind of loved it.
Oh, it was great. I wanted to watch more of it. This is WUCP-LP. This is in Tennessee. Of course it is. I want to find one.
My favourite thing about that channel was the fact that whenever someone got interviewed by... What you do as a reporter when you're off camera is you stand right next to the camera, so it's kind of tucked into your shoulder, so that they're not looking directly down the camera, but the eye line is there, right?
Yeah.
But this woman who was doing the interviewing was either flipping miles away or tiny. So they were always almost looking directly down at the floor, weren't they?
Yeah. Very strange setup. This is Ita Benna. This is... The problem is there are so many. Let's go try down here. What's this? Here we go. San Antonio.
Oh.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The University of Texas has fired men's tennis coach Michael Center after he was indicted on charges of taking bribes to help students get into top schools.
Boom.
Center was placed on leave Tuesday when federal officials unveiled indictments of a sweeping college admissions bribery scandal. Center was accused of taking up to nearly $100,000 to get a student into school by listing him as a tennis recruit. Once enrolled, the student
had no
never
arms.
played tennis. The European Commission is warning Britain's Parliament that voting against Brexit taking effect without a withdrawal deal
Well, this is San Antonio.
And lawmakers must approve the deal, too.
Isn't that funny?
An official from the EU's executive branch noted the bloc already reached a divorce deal with Prime Minister Theresa May, and the House of Commons rejected it twice. The EU official said there are only 2 ways to leave the EU, with or without a deal. This is SRN News.
Isn't that funny?
This is Dan Proft for townhall.com.
They're talking about that in Texas. Why would they care? I bet that. Well, they won't. They won't. Jimmy says that his local TV station has started showing Desmond's. That's what they do, because they can't afford to make programming like they all promised they would. So they show like crap, cheap stuff you can just buy on video from your local post office.
Political power demands some cultural
let's try this one.
Well, Desmond's was good. If I had to choose between Desmond's and Boone, I'd go Desmond's.
Oh, I'd go Boone. There we go. Steve Kaufman's Texas Radio Lives.
Famous Texan, Robert Marley.
They wouldn't have liked Bob Marley in Texas back in the 70s and 80s. They wouldn't have been a fan of that. I think you know what I'm saying. And this is the problem.
We are sorry. Euphoria music is not available outside of the United States.
Oh.
But I like your little jingle telling me I can't listen.
We are sorry. Euphoria.
I don't think they're really sorry.
Oh, I don't think they're sorry. This is the problem. Most radio stations...
No me dejes. Don't leave me.
Okay. Oh, well.
We left.
Stay there, Sally. Come to you in a minute. 0344 499 1000. That's Mexico. I don't really want to... See, most radio stations...
Dancing with myself.
Helping everyone take the next step in their spiritual journey and actively serving our Prescott community. In addition, we'll be talking about a very special season of prayer and fasting for our youth, which will be occurring March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. I'm looking forward to our visit this Sunday morning at 8 a.m. on Arizona Shines Into the Light.
Faith, hope, family. Back to the Bible. Psalm 40, verse 8. I desire to do your will, O my God. Your law is within my heart. God's law is written on your heart and demonstrated in your life. Jeremiah prophesied of a day when the focus of God's people would be their desire to do his will, a passion to love the things our Father loves.
Back to the Bible.
Hang on, let's try over in New York, because New York was where we got some action before. So let's have a little look up here.
Act, or PREA, is a set of strict federal standards established in 2003.
So PREA, the law on sexual abuse, started specific.
Okay, right, fine. Here we go.
My kingdom for someone. Some folks are loners, and
They're all the same. There's hardly anybody doing anything remotely different. There we go.
Here we go.
This is the Bluegrass Jamboree. This is in New York.
People gathered round that old farmhouse.
Oh, we'll keep this playing in the background. I like this. The Bluegrass Jamboree. Good evening, Sally.
Hello.
Hello, Sally. What have you got for us tonight at 25 to 1 on, I think it's Wednesday night?
I phoned up. I'm a bit lonely at the moment, so I thought I'd phone up and say hello.
Hello there. I've just remembered, Katherine. Sorry, just tangent. We're going to go and see the Slade film tomorrow night. We're off to see Slade in Flame tomorrow night, Sally.
Is it any good?
It's great.
Ian says it's a giggle fest. It's uplifting.
No,
and,
it's not. It's like a Hard Day's Night crossed with Kes. It's bleak. You know, Daniel Craig, but imagine that, but with Slade in it.
Not Daniel Craig, is it?
Yeah, it's Daniel Craig, the fella who has a heart attack at the job centre.
Daniel Craig?
Yeah, Daniel Craig, yeah. It's like that, but with Slade in it. And then this is the theme tune from it.
The electric chair, the shade is angry. The preacher said, son, have you got something to say?
That really is the best music, isn't it?
I mean, it sounds so jolly, and then you hear that you're singing about electric chairs, but woohoo!
Yeah, exactly. I reckon I could beat an electric chair.
Yeah, really? You reckon?
Yeah, well, listen, there's no pain... Hang on a minute. See, hang on. Going to another song. I've beaten a migraine, right? Migraine is the worst pain you can have. It's the most physical... The most physical discomfort you can have. Because not only is it physical, it's also mental torture, right? So I've beaten it.
Yeah.
And I think if I really, really concentrated, like really hard, I could beat the electric chair. You've just got... Because it's only on for like a few seconds.
Well,
so all you've got to do is...
takes, mate.
For a few seconds...
Why all your organs are boiling up and,
all that.
turning to mush.
Focus.
Oh, right, okay.
You've just got to... You've just got to focus.
Mind over matter.
And I would focus and I would be able to do it. And I think I could beat it. I'm not being disrespectful to anybody.
What, you're saying they're not trying hard enough?
No.
Those guys.
Well, the thing is, because you're on death row for like years.
Their attitude.
You're on death row for years and years and years, right? So they break you down. You're like 25 years you can be on death row. They break you down.
But then you get like fried chicken just before that's almost like building you up, isn't it?
You are fried chicken. That's the problem. That's the problem.
You think they'd be in a good mood after the big dinner?
Do you know what? Here's my prediction.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction. If we leave the EU without a deal, we'll have the death penalty in this country within the next 5 years.
Oh, blimey.
That's my prediction.
No.
If we leave without a deal, that means the extreme right-wingers, the Rees-Moggs and the what have you, and the Farages will have won. Right? It means they've won. That's what they want. They want no deal, right? That means they've won. That means anything is possible. Because now the rabid right-wingers will be like, right, we're out of Europe, and we haven't got a deal. What else can we do? I know. Let's bring back hanging for nonces. That's my prediction. If we leave without a deal, within 5 years, we'll have the death penalty back in this country.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, did you think we were going to leave Europe?
Yeah, right, okay.
Thank you very much indeed. I know what honestly, I know what I'm talking about. You know, did you think that the Labour Party would be riddled with anti-Semitism? Did you think that we'd all be ignoring the anti-Islamic stance of the Tories while we looked at the Labour Party? No one predicted. Did you think that Tommy Robinson will be given a high-ranking position in UKIP? No, we didn't predict any of this. But this is where we are. The death penalty will come back if we crash out without a deal. That's my prediction.
Fun. Sometimes.
Fun times, isn't it? I'm going to go to Rotterdam with that sweary lady.
Natalie.
I think I'll move to Denmark or somewhere.
Okay, yeah, Denmark or somewhere.
Oh, they have murders, though, there, don't they? Scandinois.
Scandinois.
It's the happiest place in the world, isn't it? Copenhagen.
Shut up, is it?
Yeah.
It's wunderbar there, but...
Wonderful.
Wunderbar.
Yeah.
Wunderbar, Copenhagen. Das ist was I say. Sprechen Sie, Copenhagen. Ich bin nicht today.
Wow. I didn't realise you spoke such good Danish.
Yeah, there you go. Sally, thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. We got... Oh. Luke.
Mama, I'm depending on you to tell me the truth.
This is great, man. Bluegrass Jamboree is the station. TheBluegrassJamboree.com.
Oh.
Here we go.
Wherever he laid his hat was his home.
Yes, man.
When he died, while he lived, this was alone.
This is a belter.
Hey, Mama, now is it true what they say? That Papa never worked a day in his life. And Mama, there's some bad talk going around. Saying that Papa had 3 outside children and another wife.
This kid sounds like he's got no teeth.
I heard about Papa doing some storefront preaching, talking about saving souls and all the time leeching. Stealing and dirt and stealing in the name of the Lord. Mother just over here to see. Papa was a rolling stone. Where he laid his hat was his home. And when he
Hang on a second. So when is the 16th?
Well, it's the 14th now, so 2 days.
What day of the week
It's
is that?
Thursday now, right?
Yeah.
Saturday.
No, it's Wednesday.
It's Thursday now.
Because Emma Pollock's doing a lunchtime gig at the Union Chapel in London on Saturday. We're doing a radio show Saturday night. I don't know if I've mentioned that. Part of me's thinking I might go and see Emma Pollock. Could be something, couldn't it? Love Emma Pollock. I mean, she's doing it with a few other people. Emma Pollock, Joe Mango, Lewis Abbott and Donna Macchiocci. Don't know those people. This is what it was built. Listen to this. A lazy afternoon with music, tea and cake.
Oh, do you know what I'm thinking?
Yeah?
Get her to come in.
Yeah, let's just get her to come in.
If she's about.
The Distant Voices project brings together some of Scotland's most acclaimed songwriters with people who have first... People who have first experience of the criminal justice system. Co-writers on the debut album, not known at this address, includes prisoners, prison staff, researchers and social workers. Let's see if she wants to come on the show tomorrow and have a little talk about this. This sounds great.
Have you got a number?
I haven't got a number. Join musicians Emma Pollock, Joe Mango, Lewis Abbott and Donna... I'm going to say Donna's last name wrong, so I'm not going to say it. He'll be sharing some of the songs and stories from the project.
I'm writing to her now.
Write to her now. Tell her we're talking about it. We might pop down if we're free, but we'd certainly love... She'd be very, very welcome to come on the show tonight or tomorrow to have a little chat about it and tell us about the album and about the show. Love Emma Pollock. If you don't know Emma Pollock, oh my God, she's incredible. She was in the band of Delgados, which is just a wonderful, wonderful band.
Isn't it funny? I was just thinking about her yesterday.
Yeah, hang on. This looks great. That's made my day, that has. Hopefully we can go, and if we can't go, hopefully we can get her on the show, and if we can't get her on the show this time, hopefully we'll get her on the show at some point, because I love her. I think she's absolutely brilliant. 0344 499 1000. Rory, stay there. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the phone number. The tickets are selling for Manchester, the second Manchester show.
Gosh.
We're in double figures.
Hey, that's really good.
That is not bad. We're doing a second Manchester show. We're in double figures. I think we just need to sell 2 more and then we've broken even. And then it's pure profit. And we just sit back and wait for the Benjamins to come rolling in. Benjamins is a family that's expressed an interest in booking some seats. So the first show sold out, so we've added a second show on the Sunday, the 19th of May. It really helps us if you book early. And it's a tenner. If you booked a ticket for the Saturday show, you can get tickets for £7. You need to message me directly. Otherwise, it's a tenner, which is not. It's a 2-hour show. As always, we stick around afterwards. We hang out, shake hands. If you want pictures, then it's all good. And, so iainlee.com/event. iainlee.com/event if you want to come and have a look at our live dates. That'd be lovely. Thanks very much indeed. Good evening, James.
Oh, hello.
Hello, James.
Hi. Oh, yeah, just listening in, just found your station on tuning.
There you go. It's a great app. James, it sounds like you're on speakerphone. Is there any way you could not be? Because it sounds lousy. There we go. That's it. There we go. No,
it's a bit closer.
It's close. It's closer. Closer.
Hello.
That's what we want. Hello, James. What, you've literally just found us this evening?
Yeah, I was looking for a talk station. But no, I just heard your bit about capital punishment going back. I just want to say I've got absolutely no faith in it not coming back.
Hang on.
It's going to happen.
It is going to come back, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah.
Are you? Does that excite you? Does that get you? No, okay, good. I couldn't quite work out if you were getting a little chubby at the thought of it. But it is, isn't it? Listen, if we crash out without a deal, right? Then the Rees-Mogg, who's against abortion and lots of is a proper old fashioned right wing Tory. Him and Farage and Tommy Robinson, those kind of people will have won, right? And they'll be looking for the next thing they can do. So they will have won on Brexit. They will have won on actually making it it is now socially acceptable to say quite racist things. You can get away with it. So the next thing is the death penalty, only for people that kill coppers and nonces to start with. And then it expands, drug addicts, and it expands and expands. James, it's totally going to happen.
Oh yeah, it was like was it a few years ago? Channel 4, I think, it's like a mockumentary called The Execution of Gary Glitter.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually pretty good. But it's a bit silly, but it's kind of I think it's supposed to be kind of an accurate depiction of what would happen, and it ends with like 60% of the British public support reintroducing the death penalty.
Oh.
So I think that was made a few years ago, so I don't have any up-to-date statistics, but I think, there is the popular vote behind it, but look where the popular vote
I can totally see a referendum on bringing back the death penalty, and there are enough old people to vote it in. I think if there was a referendum, it would get voted in.
You know what? I think you're overestimating how many young people, or underestimating how many young people are quite hardline conservative these days.
Yeah, you're right.
It seems like there's a circular thing in history where you always want to kind of do something different from your parents, and some of it starts with like little warning signs, the canaries in the coal mine, the way people talk to each other online, the way some young people, if you play games online, for example, some of the slurs they're using are proper old-fashioned racist and homophobic stuff, right? And it's almost, that's their rebellion. And so history goes a certain way, progressively, and then it starts to swing back the other way.
Of course it does. It always does. And we are coming out of a very liberal era, and we're going back the other way, and we'll probably be that other way for 40 years, 50 years, and then it will swing back the other way. That's how it goes. James, so you literally just found us tonight. What do you normally listen to?
I normally listen to Spotify. I fancy something with talk on it.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, me and Katherine are on weeknights, 10 o'clock at night. The rest of the station, there are other shows on the station that would actually probably endorse a death penalty referendum. So it's not all quite as liberal and as lentil munching as this show. Just to warn you. Check it out, but just to warn you.
Interesting. Because, the thing is, I'm, on the left side of things myself, but you see on Facebook, people posting things are just, complete echo chambers. So it'd actually be quite interesting to hear the other side of things.
Oh no, and I'm a big fan of listening to right-wing radio hosts because sometimes I realise I'm actually wrong about something, and I'm cool to admit that when I've got things wrong. But also, more often than not, it strengthens my argument as to why I think, why I'm kind of a sort of left of centre, vaguely liberal kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be informed, yeah.
You've got to be informed, James, and this is the show to inform you. Hey, listen, man, thanks for calling. I really appreciate it. I hope you listen again.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much indeed. There you go, a nice guy.
And also, he's first-time listener and he rang in. That's brilliant.
Yeah, nice guy. Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to Rory. Good evening, Rory.
Good evening, Ian and Kath. How are you doing?
Very, very well, Rory. Very well indeed.
Good. That's great. I don't think the death penalty is going to come back because of the Council. I don't think we're leaving the Council of Europe, so we're still going to be in it, and the Human Rights Court and the Court of Justice.
Hang on. I voted Brexit to be rid of all that bullshit. If we crash out without a deal, they've got no sway over us.
Oh, well, I think you've been told lies. Ian, maybe.
Hang on a minute. If we crash out of Europe,
lies.
If we crash out of Europe, you're telling me that they're still in charge of us, that we can't bring back the death penalty?
Yeah, it's a couple of things, couple of different sort of human rights, that kind of stuff.
Human rights. Don't give me human rights. Listen, what rights has a copper who's been killed got? What rights has a child got who's been touched up? Those people, they didn't have. They had their rights taken away from them, and I'm going to take away the rights of those people that committed the crime to breathe.
We need to take back control.
We are taking back control of our nonces.
You get on your bus and you do that.
Yes, man. Anything's possible, man. Anything is possible.
Yeah. And also, the other things you were talking about were family businesses and local TV stations.
Yeah.
And I worked for a local TV station that was a family business. What do you think about that?
I think that you're making things up and talking out of your big Irish hat. Tell me more.
So the interesting thing was that we showed lots of cheap programmes as well.
Boone and Desmond's.
Oh, what was it? No, we didn't show that. We showed Acropolis Now, which was about a Greek restaurant in Australia.
Acropolis Now?
That sounds brilliant.
That does actually sound brilliant. Was it like a documentary?
No, it was like a 25-minute sitcom with about 600 episodes. So
Acropolis Now. That sounds great, man. That's tomorrow sorted. Thank you.
Look it up. And we showed Gillette World of Sport as well.
Okay.
And stuff like that. A lot of Australian stuff, actually. I think they got a big wad of stuff from Australia and dumped it out.
Okay, hang on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. The theme tune. Oh, hang on.
We're still on bluegrass.
That's not Acropolis Now. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the theme tune to Acropolis Now. Starring Nick Giannopoulos, George Capinieris, and Simon Palomares.
I'll make you proud of me. If you've got problems on your mind, you can leave them all behind. Oh, it's a sweet life.
That looks wicked.
Sex, squid, and Socratic dialogue.
Yeah, it looks wicked. So hang on, quickly, because you've got 30 seconds before Paul Ross tells us what's on his show. So you worked for a TV company and it was owned by a family?
Yeah. And after that, I thought family businesses should be outlawed, really.
Why? What's wrong with family businesses and nepotism?
Because if you're not in the family, then you're always going to see.
That's what nepotism is.
Yeah. Kind of works for the Murdochs.
Yeah, exactly.
God bless them.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Mr. Sir, for feeding my kids.
Rupert, you're a goddamn handsome individual.
Isn't he just? Thank you, Rory. Rory's complaining about nepotism, man, because if you're not in the family, that's what it's all about. Paul Ross.
I wouldn't be here today without Nick Ross and Diana Ross. God bless them. They were an odd couple at parties. You know what I mean?
And my granddad Christopher, of course, helped out. Now,
do sleep well, don't have nightmares.
Yeah. What have you got on your show tonight? Have you got Peter Egan on your show?
We have, yes.
Yeah, we saw his name flash up on the
Yeah,
old
lovely
phones
fellow,
there,
Peter
yeah.
Egan, of course. From years ago, he was in a film, I think it might be on YouTube, a TV series called Big Breadwinner Hog.
Okay, don't know
And
that.
he played, because he kind of played against early type, he played a gangster who flung acid in people's faces. A terrifying ITV show, worth looking up, actually.
Yeah.
And then he went to Ever Decreasing Circles. He's in Downton Abbey, I think. He might be in the movie that's coming up. But he's a well-known animal campaigner, and he's got an absolutely devastating story to tell. But we can turn it around about what they call the extreme dog meat market in Indonesia.
No,
he's gone over there and made a documentary about it. He's on the programme talking about it, how people can help. He's got an event this Sunday with John Culshaw to raise funds for another dog shelter initiative. So we're talking a bit about that, and we are celebrating 60 years of Barbie by crossing to the only official Barbie museum in the world in Montreal in Canada. That's all you need to know.
Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we're off to see Slade in Flame tonight.
It's a great film,
That's a great... Dave Hill's going to be there as well.
When they chop off Dinah Dore's ex Alan Lake's toes with a shovel.
Ladies and gentlemen, we should be seeing that. Paul Ross coming up next. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio, the 21st century dream team of dialogue, debate and discourse.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip.